amazement in and of itself because I had no clue what I was doing.
I got to start quilting this and had him set everything up.
But to be fair, she did all the basting by herself. She wanted me to help, but I just unexpectedly had a business call. So I was not able to help with the basting.
I was going to have him help me put all the pins in because I hate putting all the pins in this. But he somehow got on a call. I think it was with a friend, but he says it was a business call.
It was a business associate. But he's also a friend. But it was a business call, not a friend call.
I don't know. Sounds fishy.
Well, you know. You heard me talking on the phone, right? You may not have heard anyone else on the other line, but it still happened. So, it is Wednesday, middle of the week. It's been just a ridiculous week well, at least for me. I think you too.
We've had tons of packages to send out, and it's been fun because I think we mentioned last week that our daughter is driving now. So she's been taking the packages for us, which is really nice. But I am a bit concerned that people might be concerned about what we're sending because they'll ask her like, what are all these packages? So like she had a friend go with her to deliver some the other day and they're like, what's in all these? And she's like, I don't know. My parents are just shipping stuff. And I'm like, she's like there with like 30 to 40 packages. I'm like, they probably think we're doing something illegal because she isn't just like, it's quilting stuff.
Yeah. She went over to a friend's house and she picked her friend up from school and then I think something like that. And then they dropped off the packages and there were 41 of them. They get back to their house for dinner and the parents were asking Lorelai why, or what they did. And they said they went and dropped off packages. And so they asked her what they were for. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, great. Now your friend's parents think that we're just sending you to drop off packages that contain illicit materials. So
Lindsay, that's awesome. Congratulations. One of her quilts got accepted into a quilt
Oh,
show.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool. I'm still so chicken to enter one of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know. I'll enter them for you.
That's awesome.
So, Lindsay, I mean, I don't know what your quilt looks like, but one of the easiest ways that I've found to hang quilts is to just simply sew a handful of loops on. So maybe like 3 or 4 loops across the top, and then just get a wooden dowel, and you can attach that to a wall, or you can put it in brackets. That's usually pretty easy to do.
So what's going on with Donna? Somebody said
She just said she's at the ER with her husband.
Oh, I hope everything's okay, Donnell.
And hello to everyone who is joining. I am notoriously bad at keeping up with the chat, even though that's literally my only job today. So I apologize if I miss you in the chat. So, funny story, maybe not funny, very frustrating for us. So, everyone knows there was bad weather everywhere recently, and in Houston, anytime there is freezing weather with rain, the entire damn world shuts down because they're not equipped to deal with ice on the ground here. So we were unable to send out packages for a couple of days because the roads were iced over. And like, I know how to drive in the snow and ice because I lived in Michigan, but everyone else doesn't. And the last time it got really bad here, I was driving on the road and almost got hit, but I'm not even joking, 8 different times by people who had spun out because they don't know how to drive on ice. Anyway, long story short, so when it finally cleared up, we dropped off all our packages at UPS, and there were thousands and thousands of dollars of packages that we dropped off to get sent out, and apparently UPS lost them all. So these were packages that were dropped off. Yeah.
It's been so stressful. It's been so stressful.
So we dropped off the packages on January 20th. They were
scanned in.
Yeah, they were scanned in on January 23rd, and none of them have been delivered. And so we found this out about a week ago because someone had reached out to us. So long story short, we ended up having to file claims for all of these packages and sending emails to all of the people that ordered stuff and said, look, we're really sorry. We dropped them off the UPS and we don't know what happened. So I'm not even joking. Like, there's like literally 5 to 6 pages per package that we have to fill out with UPS. So do all that work and then find out today that they found all the packages and they're going to be delivered. And it's like, well, what the heck did you make me fill out 6 pages per package for? And how did you lose them for 2.5 weeks and then just all of a sudden find them? So all that to say, if you have ordered something that hasn't been delivered and we sent it out on January 23rd, it will be delivered because apparently UPS found all the packages now. So
it's like, it's not funny, but it's just like comedic about like you literally have one job.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, I talked to the driver that picks up the packages, and he's like, yeah, I picked them all up, and I dropped them off at the warehouse. So my wife's theory, which I think is accurate, is probably that when everything finally opened back up, UPS made the decision that they were going to basically forget about everything that hadn't been sent out and only work on new orders because they wouldn't then have to reimburse anybody for the new. So if they had started working on their backlog, they would be 4 or 5 days behind. Whereas if they just started going from day one, they wouldn't have to worry about having new expenses. Although we were told today, and it was a very long conversation, that because they're delivering the packages, they will not refund any of the shipping charges, even though the packages were like guaranteed 3 days and they're being delivered 20 some odd days after the fact. So just another fun.
Most of them we paid for like 2-day or 3-day shipping, and it's been way past that they finally found them. And then some of them, it's still going to take them a week to get to where they're supposed to be according to their shipping status. And it's like, I don't understand what's happening here.
So, it is what it is. It's one of the joys of owning a business. So, welcome everyone. I apologize. I've been ignoring the chat. Welcome Cindy from Texas. Hey, Gayla, you're in Colorado. I love Colorado. I was raised there. Where in Colorado are you? So that I can determine what kind of Coloradoan you are. I lived in Colorado Springs and Denver, which are relatively close to each other, but very different places. So April says, she asked a question, if we already answered it, what your feeling is on basting before quilting, and if you do baste before quilting.
I pin baste my quilts. I've tried spray basting. That makes a mess for me. Like, it just doesn't work out for me very well. I can't get the quilt very smooth. So I put pins in my quilts. I know some people like to baste by doing longer stitches and things like that, but pin basting seems to work really well for me because what I do, I baste mine on a table. I have these clamps that my husband found for me that fit on our table. I lay everything out, use the clamps, and I start pinning in the middle, and I keep spreading the fabric out as I pin, and that works really well for me to get it smooth, and I don't get as much bunching in my quilt.
But you hate basting. It's like your least favorite thing.
So honestly, everything after sewing the quilt top together, I don't love. I love piecing the top. I like seeing it finished, but I don't like the parts that get it to finished. I'm going to try and get him to get to where he bastes it for me. He can quilt it for me and put the binding on, and I get to enjoy the quilt after.
That's a lot of wishing. Yeah, Kelly, trying to get people to pay their bills is just fun. Especially so, like, as a lawyer, I am constantly, like, there's a fine line.
Your last client.
Yeah, there's a fine line between trying to get people to pay their bills and not being too overly pushy, because, you know, lawyers, don't get me wrong, I hate lawyers, so, like, I am a lawyer, I get it. No one likes us, and that's fine, but you can't ever be known as the lawyer or the law firm that sues your clients for non-payment, because then no one will ever hire you. So it's like, if a client decides not to pay their bill, there's really not much you can do. So like the last firm that I worked at, we had accounts that were $250,000, $300,000 in legal fees that we had to write off because we couldn't sue. I mean, we could have sued them, but then that would be a big problem. She's like, well, yeah, we just worked for free for, a year or whatever it would have been. I mean, to be fair, like at the firms that I worked at, $300,000 is like, I don't know, a month of work.
When it all adds up.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, yeah, getting people to pay their bills is never fun.
I wish I could do that. I could just be like, you know what? I don't feel like paying for my lights this month. This is just not feeling it. Maybe next month. But no, they'll come shut that off fast.
Yeah.
I remember, so in Florida, when we were just kind of little newlyweds and just starting off in life and don't know anything, we were renting this house. Our kids were babies. And I'm home with both the kids. They are babies. He's at work. And I don't know if you remember this, where the water company guy,
goodness.
We just moved into that house. And he showed up and he was like, I'm here to turn off your water. And I'm like,
the hell you are?
I know. I'm like, no, I have 2 babies. I was like, we just moved in. We can't be like past due on our, like, we literally just moved in. And he's like, what's your name? And I gave him our name. And he's like, that's not what's on here. And I'm like, that's because we just moved in.
Yeah.
And he turned off our water on a Friday when they can't come back and turn it back on. And I'm like, I'm begging him to please wait, because I'm like, look, I was like, we just moved in. This is not our bill. We are renting this place. And the landlord tried to call them and like, no, that's not them. Like, they just moved in and they turned it off. They turned that sucker right off. I'm like,
yeah. And it's like, it was just, yeah. It's like not our fault. Like, you turning the water off on us only hurts us. Like, we're not the ones that got evicted. Like, we literally moved in like 3 days prior. And we proved that we weren't the people who owed the bill, and I think we went like the entire weekend with that water.
It was
ridiculous.
So bad.
So,
like, I feel for him, because that's got to be an awful job to go do, and he's like, I'm just literally doing my job. But I was also like, oh my gosh, like, I showed him my idea. I was like, that is not me on there.
Yeah.
And we got it turned back on. Like, they wanted us to pay their bill to get it turned back on.
Yeah, they wanted us to pay like $400 to get the bill. And I was like, why? That's not our bill. Like, we're not paying someone else's water bill.
But our landlord got it sorted out. But it was a nightmare. I was like, oh my goodness.
Amy wants to know what batting you're using.
So I almost always use warm and natural cotton batting. I made you splurge for me, because I don't like paying for stuff that's expensive. So I make him buy it, then I feel like I'm not buying it. But he bought me a big roll of it from Joann's, and I just finally opened it, and I say, if you can splurge and get a roll of batting, if you make a lot of quilts, do it, because I think I'm going to save a lot in the long run, because it was really nice rolling it out and just cutting off what I needed for this quilt instead of getting something way larger and cutting it down into smaller little unusable pieces. Well, I find a way to use them, but I always use the warm and natural cotton batting. I really like it. I've tried other stuff, and I don't know, this one just works really well for me and my sewing machine, and it's good.
No, not Amy. Let's see. Oh, Kathy wants to know what the name of the quilt you're working on is. It's yours, right?
So it's one that it's not really my design, in that a lot of people have done it before. So instead of doing a jelly roll race quilt, I did a fat quarter race. I called it Fallon's Fat Quarter Race. You can find it on my channel. I just, I cut 12 jelly rolls, or 12, I cut 12 fat quarters into strips. But I cut them into 2 different sizes, so that's why you'll see the different widths throughout here. And I just thought it added a little bit of extra fun to like what a traditional jelly roll race looks like.
Do you have a pattern for it?
Yeah, it's on my channel. It's just called Fallon's Fat Quarter Race.
Okay.
I actually quilted. I finished this same pattern 2 or 3 weeks ago. I quilted it on my channel. It's the same pattern, just in different colors.
Do you have the roll on a stand over? How do you roll it off?
I'm gonna have him get me a stand to make for it whenever.
I'll make one.
Yeah, whenever I saw a few examples of what I would like, but right now I literally have it standing up. I can see it right behind the camera.
Oh yeah, so it's about 4 feet tall, and it's in a big roll, but it's just standing. Now I can make a very simple stand for it. All I need is a dowel and 2 pieces of wood.
Yeah, I want one, like I've seen them where they're mounted, like you know how in your closet how you have the bar going across too. I want something like that where I can just roll it off and cut what I need from it. Dream 7030. I love the Dream cut. So that's one that I really like too. I've tried that one. I probably like that one a little more than the Warm and Natural, but I think the Warm and Natural was cheaper when I was looking at rolls, and that's why I chose that one.
Excuse me, everyone. I don't mean to be yawning so much. I'm just apparently very tired. Talking with UPS for hours on end. And that was the fun thing with UPS today is I got we got a couple letters saying that they had closed our claims because we had filed claims on everybody on behalf of everybody whose packages weren't delivered. And I spent an hour plus on the phone yesterday going over all of the claims. And then today we got 2 letters saying that they closed the claims because we didn't respond, and I had to call them back and was on the phone for like...
We absolutely did respond.
I was like, here's the email confirmation you guys sent me yesterday saying that I called and talked to you about all the claims. So I spent 40 minutes talking to a rep who decided that like she needed to redo the entire claim process. And I was like, look, I don't want to do this. Like, we've already done it. Like, get me your manager. So I get the manager, and the manager's like, yeah, no, we found all the packages. You don't have to do anything. And I'm like, so I just wasted 40 minutes of my day talking to someone, telling me that I had to redo this, and now you're telling me I don't. So I was worn out.
The Warm Company is made in America. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we only buy made in America stuff.
Well, we try to, but sometimes I'm cheap. So somebody asked how far apart you can stitch this, and this I literally just pulled this. I mean, this is the first piece that I pulled from this roll, so I knew exactly where it was. So it says you can leave up to 10 inches open. This is here if anybody asks anything else about the Warm.
So, Mary Kendall, if you don't mind, would you mind emailing me at info@SoBeItQuilts with where you purchase your Dream Supreme? Because I've tried to find a wholesaler, and I've just not been successful. So I would love to find out where you're able to get it, because that would be great.
What is that?
The Dream Supreme. I think that's it's part of the... It's like another batting thing.
Oh.
I thought you liked it.
Sorry, I just burped. If you could hear that, I apologize. I'm so dehydrated. I've been so dehydrated the last couple of days, and I do not know why. I'm guessing the weather change.
So April wants to know if there's a recommended distance between quilting stitches to keep batting in place.
That's what I was getting that for the 10 inches.
That's okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. I'm behind, as I usually am.
It's fine. I'm sure, like, somebody missed it, so...
Let's see.
So I'm sure you can tell I'm quilting lines on the diagonal on this, and then I'm going to sew them in the other direction later for like kind of a crosshatch look. I might as well just grab it because I keep mentioning it. I just stitched straight lines in the other quilt that I did this version of. It's the one you really like.
That one, I love that quilt.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to, but I really do.
I'm going to pin it up on the back so people can see the pattern.
Okay.
I should have done that before.
Debbie wants to know if you've ever used bamboo batting.
I have not. I want to try that and wool. Those are two that I have not tried that I really want to try. So these are the clamps. I don't know if they're in camera.
Yeah, I love these things.
Probably here. You put...
These are the clamps.
I used to base.
They're called bandy clamps, and these were mine until my wife stole them all because I like using them in the workshop. But they're perfect for putting them on the table that she bastes on. They're, you just do this, and they've got a big rubber band in here, and so they shape to whatever your table is, and they work great.
So this is the exact same pattern that I'm quilting right now that I used fat quarters for. So hopefully you can see it pretty good, but it's a fun, really quick sew if you have a bunch of fat quarters that you want to use up.
Yeah, it's so pretty. I didn't even know they made bamboo batting, but I love bamboo. Like, I've used baseball bats made out of bamboo. I've made cutting boards out of them.
I need to try
it's
it
a
and
fun
the
product.
wool, but I'm so cheap. Like, I need you to buy me stuff like that because I won't. You know that.
You just have to tell me. I didn't even know it existed, so I couldn't possibly have bought it. So what are your thoughts, Debbie? Do you enjoy using bamboo, and what are like the differences between... Is there any difference between using it and like a cotton batting? Siberian wind doesn't feel great, so hopefully you feel better.
Yeah, I woke up today thinking that I would not feel good the whole day because I had a scratchy throat and stuff, but it turned out it was just allergies acting up, and I felt better after I took my allergy medicine, but it's the worst when you aren't feeling good and feeling under the weather.
Yeah, I know a couple people who all have like weird phlegm issues right now. I think they have some sort of...
It's something in the air.
Yeah.
We all had all that cold weather go through, and now it seems like it kicks up literally all the crud in the air or something. Ooh, you got 5 quilts basted? Oh.
Yeah, she has to get them basted.
Oh, you got to get 5. Oh, I was going to say. Well, if you enjoy basting, I have a bunch you can go baste. That's what we should have, is like a club of people who like to quilt, but everybody likes to do something else in the process. Like, find someone who likes to baste, who likes to bind, and then, everybody can work together and get it done.
Michelle says she does not recommend bamboo batting for hand quilting.
Ooh, it's probably denser. It probably would be really hard to get it through.
I just love bamboo.
Thank Di from Sister Chicks Quilting. We were talking the other day, and she really loves wool batting. She was saying that's her favorite to work with, but she quilts only on a long arm. So
I've lived everywhere, but for a while I lived in the Bay Area and I don't remember if it's in Saratoga or if it's in Los Gatos, but there is a Japanese botanical garden. Actually, we've been there.
Oh, yeah, that's where I threw up.
You did, actually, because I think you were pregnant at the time.
That's
but
all I remember. No, it was really beautiful, but I remember.
But it's a Japanese botanical garden, and I used to go there all the time because it's just a very peaceful place. But they have bamboo everywhere. And it's just a gorgeous place. So I think from a young age, because when I was like 7 or 8...
Yeah, it's like dense through there.
It's really dense. When I was 7 or 8, there was, a family friend had a wedding there. And so that's like the first time I went there. And I'm like, oh, this is like the coolest place on earth. So I've always loved bamboo just because I think it's such a cool material. Because you can do so many things with it. You can weave it. You can make it into very hard wood-ish, because it's not technically wood. But it's really cool stuff.
We had some. Roger planted some when we...
Really? In Florida?
Yeah, it was really cool. We had like this whole section out there in the middle of palmetto bushes that had bamboo. It was really cool.
Amy says that bamboo batting is very dense, but it drapes beautifully. That does not surprise me.
Well, we're going to have to try some.
Yes, we are.
Anybody have any thoughts on the wool? Now I'm curious. Well, I don't know. Just say like what your favorite batting is to work with. I think it's so because everybody has a different preference and brand, and I know some people like to work with a blend of polyester and cotton and all that stuff.
Thank you, Mary, for emailing that. I will take a look at it. Someone asked what they think the warmest batting is. I would assume it's probably wool, although given the density of bamboo, I could see bamboo. Although I've got like sports like shirts and such that are made out of bamboo and they're very breathable. So I would think that wool would likely be the warmest, although I've never actually done like a test to see.
I wonder too, like I've never tried it, but I wonder if you could just double up what you typically use. Like put 2 layers in. Hi, Christina. I don't think this batting, this warm and natural cotton is very warm because we use that quilt. That's what I used in
Michigan
our
one?
quilt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we use just that on our bed in the summer. And then we put another blanket on with it when it gets colder.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not this one. I don't think I don't think I would consider it very warm.
Okay, so it's about. Oh, okay. So Cindy Van Oy knows what I was talking about. She says, yeah, Hakone Gardens. That's right. It's in Saratoga. Okay, I knew it was either Saratoga or Los Gatos. But yeah, it is a beautiful place. I love that place. I've actually been to like 3 different weddings there, and I've enjoyed them all. The weddings I didn't care so much about because I didn't really know the people, but the setting is amazing.
Bye, Kelly. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay, that's what I was thinking, Amy. I thought for sure you could probably double. I've never tried. I don't know that I could do it on machine by hand doubling batting. Like, it would probably be a stress on my machine, but I imagine, yeah, on a long arm or something, it probably...
Goodbye, Debbie. Have a good night and enjoy dinner. So, as always, we have our 3 topics. So I'm going to start with, if you could be any TV character, so any character that has been on any TV show ever, who would you be?
I literally typed these in yesterday, and I didn't even think. I put them all in, and I don't know.
So if it were me, and this is for purely selfish reasons, I would be Batman. Not because of the superhero part, but because Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. Like, that seems like a pretty cool job to me. And the fact that you get to fight crime at night is cool, but I like the billionaire part. So I would be Bruce Wayne. Or Batman, I guess. I guess they're both the character, but... Sheila says she'd be Snoopy.
Oh, that's fun.
Now, would you be...
Bewitched is good.
Would you be Samantha from Bewitched, or would you be someone else? I assume Samantha, but... Dr. Kathy Smith wants to be Wonder Woman. I get that. But she's not a billionaire like Bruce Wayne, so...
I don't know. Who do you think I don't know.
Laura Ingalls Wilder's character on that. I don't know what her character's name was.
That just seems like a lot of work. Like all this stuff. I don't know. That's probably is true because I find that lifestyle that they had like just fascinating. I don't.
Dr. Quinn,
I talked
Medicine
about
Woman?
it. I think it was on Donnell. Was it on your live where I was talking about how I used to be fascinated with Amish lifestyle back in the early 2000s. I read so many books about the Amish.
Imogene would be Bones, which is...
Oh, maybe I'll have to do that. I loved that show. And she was hilarious in her own way. I'll never forget her dancing phalanges.
Dancing phalanges.
That's one of the shows I actually got you to watch with me because you don't like TV shows much.
I don't. I do like David Boreanaz, though, so that helped.
I'm gonna steal hers. I'm gonna have to go with that because that would all be fascinating too. And I love true crime.
You do. Although I feel like most people nowadays love true crime. It's like the
Except
fad.
you.
Yeah, I could care less.
You just have to suffer through
I
hearing
couldn't.
about all of it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I still, you may not be fascinated by it, but you have to hear all about it anyway. Like, while he's trying to set everything up, I'm like, do you want to hear what I listened to today? And he's like, yeah, I guess, because he knows I'm going to tell him anyway.
I don't have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, it is what it is.
I still try to ask, even though it comes out before you answer. I ask, and then I'm like, I talk the whole time after. I Dream of Jeannie's good too. I used to watch
Jeannie.
that.
I used to love that show. Larry Hagan and Barbara Eden, I think.
Yeah, Bones was based on books, and I think I read some of because I love to read, but I definitely didn't read all of them.
Oh, excuse me. So, Cindy, I'm curious. You said you're near Saratoga. Are you like Cupertino, Los Gatos, somewhere in the South Bay, presumably?
Drive safe, Donnell.
Underdog would be really cool too, though. Now that I think about it, I used to like.
It's not a TV show, but you like that one show or that one movie the kids liked with the time machine and that dog in it.
Oh,
What was it?
I can see the pictures.
Yeah, I can too, and I can't think of what it's.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
The
though.
kids love that movie still, even.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
It's
don't
a good
know. It's
one,
gonna
though.
drive me nuts now. I'm gonna be stuck on it.
I can look on it because it's on our Apple TV. I think I have an Apple TV app. Let's see.
Let's see.
There we go.
The Flying Nun.
What's The Flying
picture,
Nun?
I can picture it, but I have not watched it. I know I've seen like the caption for it and stuff.
I've never even heard of it. It's like an older show?
It's a show, yeah.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Oh, how could we not think of that? Now that you say it, I'm like, of course it was.
Yeah. A lot of Bewitched.
I loved that show.
See, I don't understand. Like, from a legal perspective, so Terry, I don't understand that. Like, if I'm buying someone's house, I should not be required to pay their Like, it's one thing.
I thought it goes into the
Well, it should be taken out of the escrow. Like, it's one thing if it's back property taxes; those follow the house. So I understand that, but a water bill should not follow the house. Like, that's whoever had the service. It's just like electricity.
high water bill too.
That's not messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I do wonder if, because, I mean, we didn't get into it with our landlord guy, and we didn't stay there very long either. But,
No, we lived there for like a year, and then we moved.
yeah, we moved to Michigan. But, I mean, not long. It's not like we knew him. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he had to pay it to clear it up or what.
You should definitely go to Hakone Gardens, Cindy, if you get the opportunity. It is very relaxing.
But it was beautiful
Place.
there. After I threw up, I quite enjoyed it. It was not their fault, though. I was just pregnant.
Touched by an Angel. I've never watched it, but I remember that being like a big show in the mid-90s.
I don't know if I watched that one either. I watched a lot of old shows because I liked I Love Lucy and Bewitched, and there were some other. I loved Matlock. I loved Murder, She Wrote. I watched those.
Yeah. Who is Kim Possible, Amy?
MacGyver. I liked that.
Ooh,
show.
MacGyver's a good one too.
They made a new one. Did you see that?
Yeah, we watched the first season.
Did we watch it?
Yeah.
Kim Possible was it was a Disney show.
Oh. Okay.
Lorelai watched it. I think, was it, what's her name? She went on to Broadway. I think she was in Kim Possible. Oh, what is her name? I can picture her, but she played Beauty in Beauty and the Beast when me and Christina went and saw that on Broadway when we were out there. I think it was her that.
You've got like, somehow you got thread all up in your hair.
I live with thread on me. I saw you eyeing something on me. I was like, there must be something in my hair earlier.
Kim Possible is a Disney cartoon.
Oh, what is her name? That voice. I think she voiced Kim Possible, I think. I don't know. Look it up for me because it's going to drive me nuts. I'm probably wrong anyway. You know how I am about people playing stuff.
Apparently, John DiMaggio is the voice of Kim Possible.
Well, then I'm wrong.
Oh, another article says she's voiced by Christy Carlson Romano.
Yeah. She played Belle on.
I don't even know who that is.
On Broadway, and she was in some other. She was the sister in Even Stevens. I don't think you were a Disney kid though.
No, I was not. I was not a TV kid, so. Okay. Yeah, Judy, I would sue someone if they gave me a $39,000 water bill also. Like, there's no way that that's a reasonable amount.
How does that even happen?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah. But there's also, like, government overreach. There was a case that I saw, because I have a friend who works for, it's a constitutional law firm that specializes in takings, and they were representing a Michigander who owed $700 in back taxes for property tax, and the state seized his house, sold it for like $150,000, and kept the money to themselves. He only owed $700.
Didn't that happen to the guy near us in Michigan, in Ann Arbor? Remember that house right down the road? He owed some back taxes on it. It was only a couple $100s, and they seized his house and sold it.
Yeah, in Michigan, it's apparently a big problem. But it got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, Michigan, you're out of your effing minds.
That's crazy.
Because that's clearly a taking.
Yes, Gilligan's Island. I want to be one of the people on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was garbage. But they won, so it's good. But it's just like the dude was displaced, and he was like a 75-year-old man. It's like, what are we doing?
That's how it was with the guy that lived down the road from us. He was like, yeah, it was just sad. That was awful. Okay, Amy, I got to know if you can, this just popped into my mind because I remember your post the other day about working on that thrifted quilt that you're doing a collab with Donna. I need to know when that video is going to go up so I can see what you both made. Are you able to spill any of the beans on that? Because I cannot wait to see that both of your quilts come together. Amy sent to Donna. So you all should go see the video where Donna on Handmade by Ying with Donna like unbox what Amy sent her, because Amy sent her like literally she went to a thrift shop, got a bunch of stuff and cut it all in half. Like so Donna got was opening like a half a shirt and they both have to make a quilt from it. It's such a fun idea.
That's really cool.
I can't wait to see what they both make. Hey,
welcome, Sean. So, Judy, you bring up a good point, and I'm sure you didn't mean to, but we need to stop this thing where states have the same city names. Like, Dallas, Georgia should not exist. Atlanta, Texas should not exist. There's a Cleveland, Tennessee. That shouldn't exist. Like, we can't be doing that because it's very confusing.
There's not enough words.
We'll just make some up. Like, I've seen some city names. It's like, you just made that up. Someone, like, took a dice, like letter dice, and just rolled them and said, we're going to put these together and call it a city.
Cartersville, Georgia.
Yeah. So I was talking to someone today who was saying that they live near Cleveland, and I realized that they also said they live near Knoxville, and I'm like, wait, let me put this together. You mean Cleveland, Tennessee? Like, that's not how you can't just say, oh, I live right next to Cleveland. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking Ohio because that's where Cleveland is. So it gets very right. And I'm sure I can only imagine how many times someone addresses something to you, Judy, and they send it to Texas because they put Dallas, Texas instead of Dallas, Georgia.
Because most of those things just populated itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're typing in Dallas and then Texas comes up and you think it's all filled out, but they did their own thing.
Apparently there's a Cleveland, Georgia too. What's going on?
Rome, Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know? I read this article about how all these people will end up like they wanted to go to like say Austria and ended up in Australia because they bought the wrong tickets. Like it's a big. I guess some of those places have an actual counter for people who went to the wrong place.
There's also a Danville, California, Karen Bray, in addition to the ones in Illinois and Indiana.
Well, there's a Hollywood in Florida.
There is a Hollywood in Florida. That's true.
We have a Paris here in
There
Texas.
is a Paris, Texas.
There's a Caldwell, Texas, too.
There's a fucking Caldwell. Excuse me. There's a Caldwell in New Jersey. There's one in Idaho. I've been to the one in Idaho. Yeah, there's one in Texas. There's like all over the place.
Oh, yeah, Amy, it's fine. It's fine. We can wait a few weeks for this. All the teasing you put up. She put a picture up of all her pieces all cut up. And then we wait.
Quingen? I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
That's in Italy, Texas?
Oh, I guess so. Yes, I've got a bunch that just need to be put together. I've done all the work on the lathe. I just haven't had time to put them together. So
he has a bunch, right? And he's pretty fast when he gets going. But like literally, you all love this tool. We found out we've sent so many out in the last couple days. It's literally he comes out. I'll package him and he's just carrying them down and doing labels. He has not had time to work on any of the stilettos, but he has so many prepped, so they should be up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, just crazy places everywhere. This is why we can't do it. Like,
I didn't know the original Hollywood was into Scotland.
Well, it depends
cool.
on who's saying where the original is, right?
No,
Like,
it's
I mean,
definitely
Scotland
there.
is technically been more populated than Hollywood and California, from a time span, but
I want to go to Scotland. We should go to Scotland.
I am a lord.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so question number 2, and this may actually be the most fun question I think we've had in a while. If you could combine any 2 animals to form a new animal, what would they be? What you got, wife?
I got nothing. I'm not a big animal person.
You're really not. Sheila, the circles, what you see on the bottom of the tool that appear to be circles, it's a special material that we have made for us that is very
I got hair stuck in my
thin.
earring.
But it allows you, when you put it on the fabric, it doesn't move. So instead of sliding around like a typical ruler would, it acts as a stopper so that you can sew or quilt without worrying about the fabric moving under the ruler or without the ruler moving, so that you can keep it as a straight line the entire time.
I like to use it because there's 1-inch lines on here, so I line whatever inch line, however far I want it spaced on the stitches that I did previously, and then I just sew next to it to space them instead of having to mark up the quilt with chalk or whatever I would have used in the past, or masking tape, whatever. I can just use this and quilt to quilt really fast.
So I think I would go. I went back and forth on this. I sort of went two ways. I really like bears, just because I think they're glorious animals. So I think I would do like a polar bear and like a shark.
So are you combining like half and half? Like
I don't know what the result would be.
Was it in Harry Potter where they had the like half human, half like whatever?
No, I would like to see a polar bear that has like a fin and can swim in the ocean, but also be on the land.
Yeah, this is Harry Potter stuff because they had fins in the one games to go.
Well, sure, okay. I just think that would be like a creature that could not be killed. But I'd also like to see like a flying dolphin. So like an eagle and a dolphin or something crazy like that, where you could just, see a dolphin flying around in the sky with crazy talons. That would be fun. Sean wants a pig and a bird so pigs can fly.
So you can get all your wishes to come true whenever anybody's like, do that when pigs can fly.
Yeah, Sean's like, yo, I got you, bro. I've got an eagle pig in the back. Yeah, so I think I'd go something like that.
Like a bear and a shark or something?
Bear and a shark, or like a dolphin and an eagle, so I can see dolphins flying around. Yeah, so they kind of do, Alexander, because polar bears are great swimmers, but they can't swim like 30 miles an hour like a great white can. So just like put those two together and it'd just be like an indomitable, unbeatable animal. It'd be really fun to see. A dog and an eagle. That's hilarious.
Amy, when do you get that row of the traveling quilt? I can't remember who was next. I know Sean had the first row for the traveling quilt, and then I know you were on the list, Amy. I can't remember what month you were. But if you all didn't see that, Sean and Amy, I can't remember who all else are part of the traveling quilt that So Becca started off. And Sean did a row in it, and then a whole bunch of other YouTube creators are doing rows for it.
Oh, that's
that
really
it's all
cool.
coming together. And I think they're doing a giveaway for it after Tiffany quilts it. But I think it's going all year, so it's going to be a big quilt. May. So Amy's in May. So we'll have to look for that. We got to see what row you're doing.
How wide are the rows?
I think Sean's came out. I think he said 50 inches in his video. I think it was 10 inches by 50 inches. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, and then they're having 10 or 11 people sew the 10, so I don't know. You math that for me.
Yep. He said you got it right. Ooh, Alexander says a parrot and a dog, so your dog could talk. Ooh. That'd be kind of fun. I'd love to see my dog fly, too. Shadow'd have so much fun.
Sean, or our dog would be like food. That's all it would say.
So he would fly up the trees to get the squirrels because he can only chase them to them. Yeah. He's like, now suckers, I can fly. What are you going to do now? That'd be awesome. What about you, baby? What would your two animals be?
I'd do something silly, like put a zebra with a giraffe or something. Just because I think it would look silly.
Do you just want a giraffe that has black and white stripes?
Yeah.
That's boring. My shark bear is going to eat that thing alive.
No, because yours is going to be in water.
No, but that's it can be on the land, too. That's the whole point.
Oh my gosh, Judy, my son loves watching videos of huskies talking. He is always showing me videos of huskies saying no to stuff and different things like that.
They have very evocative personalities. Yeah. They will definitely let you know what they're thinking. I don't think bassets, like, they would have to have some crazy wings to be able to lift their pudgy little bodies up. I love basset hounds, but yeah.
They're so cute.
That's not a dog that's gonna, it's gonna need like 12-foot wings to get lift off. Ooh, a honey badger and a cheetah. That'd be a fun animal.
You like everybody's but mine. It's rude.
You went with a zebra and a giraffe. Like, neither animal I actually appreciate.
That's not nice.
I mean, the only cool giraffe I ever met was that one in Santa Barbara Zoo that had the crooked neck that ended up
Poor
dying.
giraffe.
I know. A lion and a lamb. That's a good one. A bunny and a cat. I don't really like cats. I think bunnies are fine, but our son's allergic to cats. So.
He is very allergic to cats.
Yeah.
Like, it's up there with how allergic he is to peanuts. It was really bad.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, that poor. He was so sick after that.
We were looking at houses, and we went to a house, and obviously there's no way to know that these people have cats, but we were going through the house, and we walk right in, and he immediately says he doesn't feel well, and I'm like, what the heck? He just did. I was thinking he just didn't want to see another house.
Look around anymore.
And then we found out that they had cats, and he was just dead for the rest of the day. I felt so badly for him.
Who killed what? Did we kill something?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I have, but I don't.
Oh. Sarcasm.
Yeah. Basset Hounds doing agility, that would be fun to watch. I've seen some funny dogs do some crazy stuff, but I'd love to see a Basset Hound doing some agility stuff.
I think it's Deanne. Deanne, we sell the rulers in our shop. It's something that me and my husband designed and make.
Do you remember? So there's a funny video, and I'm sure it's on YouTube, of it's like maybe a minute-long clip of an obedience. It was like a dog obedience test, if you will, like a competition. And it shows, the first dog is a German Shepherd, and it runs through this obstacle. It's not really an obstacle course, but it runs through these stages, and at each stage there's bones and foods and treats, and the German Shepherd just goes straight thugh, doesn't even notice it. And then they have a golden retriever, and he's jumping at the bit, and chomping at the bit, and they let him go, and he literally stops at every station and just eats whatever it is there, and the whole audience erupts in laughter because it's
that
clearly
would be our dog, though.
Yeah, it'd definitely be Shadow, but it's just one of the most wholesome, hilarious videos to see this dog do that.
Yeah, we should post a video of our dog because it is so funny. We've taught him to do different things to ask for something, and you just you can see him shaking. He'll do the commands you have. If you're holding a new bone for him or something, we'll tell him to sit and then ask, and his ask is where he raises one of his paws, and he's shaking though and raises it because he wants the treat so much. Yeah, he is definitely food driven.
He's the most food motivated dog I've ever seen. Yes, May. I took my beard off. Christmas? Was it before Christmas? I don't remember now.
I think it was around Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the beard. My wife was not so much, but it got so long. It was literally 14, 15 inches long, and it would I could not eat a meal without having to wash my beard, and it got very frustrating. Because it's I've got to have lunch, and then I have to go to a meeting, and I've got cheese or sour cream or whatever stuck in my beard. And half the time, I don't even know because it was so big, I couldn't tell. So it just it had to go.
Where did we go? Oh, we went because we hadn't been out to eat in a long time. We were trying to be better with going out to eat too much and trying to eat at home. And we went to this Mexican restaurant we hadn't been to in months because we've been trying to be really good about cooking at home. And it'd been probably 3 months since we had been there. And we'd probably gone there, sadly, once a week for a while. And the owner was there, and he's like, "Did you cut your beard?" He was wasn't sure with him. And he's like, "I thought it was you, but I wasn't sure." But nobody recognizes him anymore. It takes him a while.
Jay Klein, yes, I did get so I went to my barber today, and I was like, "Luke, just make me look good." We have a good relationship. I was like, "I just need you to make me look good." And I said, "Do whatever you want, just make it look good." And this is what he came up with. So
it looks good.
Yeah, I like it. It's fine. It's hair. It's gonna grow back if I don't like it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, he did a border collie and a bird. That's an interesting one. That'd be good, though, because then they could fly over the flock of sheep to get a better idea of where they all are, and they could come and land and get them to where they need to go. That's like a very utilitarian viewpoint of this.
Yeah.
I was going like, I want the most dangerous thing possible. But I like it.
Thank you, May Dawn Creations. That's so sweet of you to say. I try my best to be helpful in my videos.
You are, baby.
I don't know. Like, it's really, really bad. And I think I've gotten better about it. But, like, I'll get, 99% of the comments are really good. But I used to be really bad about dwelling on the mean ones. Because I would sometimes cry about it to him.
Yeah,
I've gotten better about it where I just delete them. But he's like, look, everybody else, like, you have all these comments on here where they're nice. But it's hard. I get hard on myself. But I've gotten better about it.
Yeah, there are just like, and this goes for everybody, not just for us per se. Anyone that has a YouTube channel, other social media, there's some people that are just mean-spirited and just, I feel like there was a comment the other day, I don't think it was on one of your videos, but someone basically commented on a video, oh, like, I don't like the way you do things, and that's all it was, and it's like, just don't comment at all. Like, whatever happened to, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, because if you're going to at least give constructive criticism, make sure it's constructive, but simply telling someone you don't like what they do is not a reason to comment on a video. Like, I watch a lot of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wasted 15 minutes of my life. But I don't go to the comments and tell that person they suck. Like, I just don't understand that train of thought.
Sean, that is how my husband feels about so many things, where he's like, this is your profession, and this is what you do for a living. So he tries to defer to them a lot. He says that all the time. He's like, I'm an attorney. I'm not a whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you probably know what's best.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always tried to defer to people that knew better than me. But when I became an attorney and I realized that people don't follow my advice, which is great. I love it when they don't follow my advice because then they have to pay me 3 times more to fix the problem. So it works out really well when my clients don't listen to me. But I realized, like, I have no business trying to tell people how to cut my hair because literally they're the experts at that and they're much better than I am. And they have a better eye for what looks good. Same thing with anything really. I'd much rather hire an expert to do it than to do it myself because I'll know they'll do it right.
Yes, we do see the thumbs down on our videos. Yeah, they took it away because
that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
A couple years ago, yeah. Everybody used to be able to see them, like people who view channels. The owner of the channel could see them, but now they said, like, I got this notice that said they were taking it away from everybody being able to see it for like our health, like for the creator's health, like so that they don't get weighed down by like it being there, but it's like, but I can still see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's garbage. There's a whole reason that they did it, and I'm not going to get into it because it's political. But the simple fact is,
yeah, I think there is a different.
They have said they did it for the health of the creators, but then they still have in this YouTube studio you can see it all. So that clearly was not the reason. Yeah, Laura, I think you're 100% right. Like, society has gotten to the point where people are very comfortable saying anything they want online because they don't have to deal with the consequences of having to say something to someone's face. Like, I'm not advocating violence, but, like, if I went, like, back in school when I was younger, like, people were a lot nicer to each other because you couldn't get away with saying something mean to someone because there was no internet, there was no, message boards, things like that. Like, anything you said had to be said to someone's face. And when you're talking to someone in the face-to-face, you're a lot nicer.
Hey, Di, Sister Chicks Quilting. I was talking about you earlier. Not bad. It was good. Where I was saying that you said you really like wool for quilting. And earlier somebody was asking about what the warmest batting was for wool. I don't know if answers came up because I couldn't see very well through there. But we were suspecting wool might be pretty warm. So let us know if you have any thoughts on that. Because I know you said you use a lot of different battings. Oh, yeah, we don't see who they are. We see who they are if they comment mean things, but not the thumbs down.
Yeah. Okay, last question of the night, and I think this will be an interesting one. And if you already have a tattoo, that's awesome, and you can use that. But if you were to get a new tattoo, and it would be anything you want and anywhere on your body, what would you get? I think I know what you would get, but I'm curious.
You know what I would get, but I don't think you would ever get a tattoo. Would you? I don't think you like tattoos.
I was going to with my unit before I got injured. So before we get to that, Sherry says, can you use the quilt lock with a wave stitch? So we actually have a prototype.
It's behind.
Sherry, I don't know where it is.
I haven't used it yet. It's under, because yeah.
Yeah. So I have put together a prototype for a wave stitch.
I haven't got to try it yet.
It's here. You really can't see this. I need... Does that work? Sorry, I'm trying to improvise here. Yeah, there we go. So I have put together this. We demoed it once, just a dry run to make sure that the waves were shallow enough to allow a walking foot to go through it so that you can use it. This definitely works on just a regular foot, but it also works on the walking foot. So we just haven't had a chance to go through and make sure it works a lot before we
I want to make
selling
sure
it.
the lines work for spacing them out and different things with it. And you can see it doesn't have grips or a handle or anything on it yet. But I have not tried a wave stitch with this one, so I can't speak for sure on if it works well with this. Yes, Judy, the wave one would be excellent on a long arm, or if you have a ruler foot for this machine, it would be really easy to use for that. I just want to make sure that it works with like a walking foot too, before we put it up and say what it could be used with.
So Paula wants 3 kids' birth flowers on her upper right arm. That'd be kind of fun. Maid Dawn has 10, but if she got a new one, it would be a sleeve tattoo of all the birth flowers of her immediate family members. Dog's paw print, that's kind of cool.
And so we're definitely going to have to try the wool batting that Sister Chicks Quilting Dye is mentioning.
Okay.
That sounds really nice. Did you see her
I
with the Hobbs washable wool batting?
Yeah.
So she said that, just in case it went off your screen, she said that it's cool in the summer and warm in the winter, and then it's gone for me. But yeah, so Hobbs, I don't even remember. I can't see it anymore.
Alexander would get flowers and vines. That is a lot of flowers.
Well, so I don't know what you were going to get with your unit, but I love the infinity symbol, and I always wanted to get it on my ring finger. But everybody told me it's really painful to get a tattoo on your ring finger, and I've never got a tattoo before, so it scares me.
Debbie wants a Star Trek command insignia.
Anytime I hear that, is that the Klingon one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think about that lady who put that as a language on her.
Oh, yeah, so
I hope she's not in the... No, she wouldn't be in.
No, so this was when we first got married, so it was 17, 18 years ago, whatever it was. I was interviewing for a secretary position for me, and this woman applied, and she listed on her skills that she could speak another language, and she listed Klingon as the language. Now, I'm not a Star Trek fan. Like, I don't get into that stuff. I understand that there is, in fact, an entire language that can be spoken, but you don't put that on a resume for a real job. Like, if you're applying...
I thought it was awesome. That was bold.
If you're applying for a job at a Star Trek fair or something, sure, put that on there, but you don't put on there that you speak Klingon.
Did she get hired?
No, she did not. That was like the best part of her interview, was that she spoke Klingon.
So if you've ever worked in hiring, I think this will be a bonus question because I love these stories. Like, what is the weirdest interview you've had, or like resume turned in, or anything like that? Because my best one was when I worked at a manager at a store. I got an application turned in crayon, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I have interviewed, like, not even joking, probably close to 1,000 attorneys. And I have lots of stories about that.
Yeah, a lot of them revolving around language
Yeah,
too.
not like one cycle of hiring, I had like 4 or 5 people who put languages.
And you don't do
skills.
that with him because
No.
he knows so many at least enough talking.
I had someone who listed they spoke German, Spanish, French, and Mandarin, I think is what they listed. Now, unfortunately for that person, I speak 3 of those languages. So during the interview, I threw out some phrases and they had no idea what I was saying. And the person I was interviewing with, he spoke Mandarin, and so he threw out some phrases. And so it's like, dude, you put 4 languages on your resume and you don't speak any of them. And it's like, it didn't make sense. The law firm I worked at we were a very boutique, very specialized shop. All we did was trial work, and we didn't do international stuff. So being able to speak those 4 languages was absolutely, it had nothing to do with the job. So he would have been hired because he was number 1 in his class at one of the top law schools in America. And we only hired from like 5 law schools as it was. Like if you didn't go to one of the top 5 law schools, we wouldn't hire you. We wouldn't even interview you. So he was going to get hired just by virtue of being number 1 in his class, and then he lied about languages. It's like, what are we doing?
In quilt fact. That's funny.
So let me catch up. Amy would get a list of her pets' names with hearts on the ones who are gone. I like that.
Yeah, Di, neither me nor my husband here are very much into any sci-fi type stuff. I'm sorry. I don't know why. It's weird because of how much we like games and other stuff, but neither of us are big sci-fi fans, like that genre at all.
Sheila would get a Triforce from Legend of Zelda. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds
My mom
cool.
used to play Legend of Zelda. I never understood it, but she loved that game.
Kathy would get dog paw prints with wings when they die. That's nice.
That's cute.
Butterfly or hummingbird with the outline of the names. I like that. Let's see. A Luna moth that looks like a rainbow knit stitches. That's kind of cool. So in Quilt Fexit, she had a guy come with his girlfriend for an interview, and while he was waiting to get interviewed, they started making out in the office.
That's so awkward.
That's hilarious, Sheila. She speaks English and American English. Yeah, if you can speak like Liverpoolian, that's a whole nother language. There's another one that I don't
Creole
remember.
English.
That's not a language. Yeah, I don't know anybody that gets hired on the spot anymore. So if I were to get a tattoo, there was one that I was I was going to get, and then I got injured and couldn't get it. But so the Marine Corps emblem is the EGA. It's the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. So it's an eagle sitting on top of a globe with an anchor through it because we have Navy traditions. But for snipers, we have what's called the Eagle Scope and Anchor. So it's a rifle scope with a skull in the middle with red eyes, and it's got an eagle on top. And it's a sniper symbol. So I was going to get that, but then I got injured and didn't get it. And now that I'm not, 20 some odd years old, I realize it would have been... You can't walk around shirtless with a big ass scope and a skull on your shoulder and have people not look at you weird. So I decided not to get it.
You'd be fine here in Texas.
I probably would, but... that's the one thing we're like
English and hick.
like I wouldn't have a problem like going
know exactly what you're saying from where I grew.
Yeah, she does. Like I wouldn't have a problem walking into a bar right now with a bunch of drunk dudes and getting into a fight. Like I have no fear of that, but getting a tattoo now, I'm like, I just don't want to get anything that's gonna like some sort of infectious disease that would kill me, which I know is probably an irrational thought, especially nowadays, but
yeah, but
I just don't want to risk it.
It makes sense when you have like a family, and so like when you're younger, you're just like, I'll do whatever and take
Yeah.
chances. Yeah, see, Amy said too, you can in Texas. Die. Sherry, so yeah, it does, it kind of like serves the same purpose as having that bar on your walking foot to space out the lines. I need somebody to tell me how to get the bar to work, because anytime I put it in, it still moves around. Like the little screw that I have with mine does not keep the bar in place. So this has worked really well for me. Yes, I line it up against the side of the plastic part of my walking foot though, because it's farther out from the feet on the foot. That was horrible. The feet on the foot.
And yes, Sherry, the ruler does butt up against the foot, so that you can maintain the same distance, for all of your stitches if you want. Do you have a video on it?
I do. Okay. Yeah. So I talk about it in more detail in my most recent video, the 5 ideas for quilting on your domestic sewing machine, and then I have a short video too on my channel that shows using it.
Yeah, Jonna, so and I'm still not sure I understand this, like, in the military, even when I was in, 20 years ago, that is ridiculous. It's almost been 19 years ago is when I was able to get out.
We're getting older.
But back then, like, the military would not allow you to join if you had tattoos that were visible when wearing a short sleeve shirt. And now I've seen a lot of dudes that are in the military that are literally have sleeves, and I'm like, I don't understand how it works, because that was never allowed when I was. Now I got out in 2005, and I know things have changed quite a bit, but
things have changed a lot bit. All right, last stitches, and then we'll wrap up, because then I just need to go in the other direction to finish this up.
I think one of my favorite UK phrases that you don't hear a lot in the US is "off you bop." Like, it's such a demeaning way of saying "get out of my face." Off you bop now.
That sounds nicer though.
I know, that's why I love it so much, because it's like, it's not so bad. Off you bop.
Yeah. I'll hold this up so you can see the quilting I did on here.
Oh yeah.
And then I am going to sew in the other direction too. I don't know. You let me know if it's
it looks fine.
Horrible.
You can't see the quilting very easily.
No,
but
you can't. We'll see if it shows on the other side.
Thank you, Vicky. I'm saying thank you for her because she's holding this up and can't see. You could probably get a little closer to the camera if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I feel like if I go over there, it's going to be like right on it and you're going to see one segment, and I don't want people to... You told everyone my foot's doing better, and me walking around is like... No, that's horrible.
No, but you can see it.
Oh.
So.
Anyway, I'll definitely put pictures up of it. I'll try to get it quilted in the other direction over the weekend and bound. And then it'll be one of my finishes for February.
Yeah, so I know you've got a video up, but how many did you finish in January? Spoiler
11.
alert, if you haven't actually seen the video, this will spoil it, but...
That was one of them. I finished 11 in January. I have not finished any this month yet. Spoiler.
Been a busy month. But we're only 7 days in.
Yeah,
so.
but this will be one. I'm almost, like, I have it all done in one direction. It's pretty, like, it's halfway done. The other direction, that only took me an hour and a half. Because I started before the video
right, you
started.
A few minutes.
So, yeah, I should be able to finish it up this weekend and get it bound. So I'll at least have one done this month. No, I should be able to get more. I think. Hopefully.
Yeah, but we got soccer starting back up.
I know.
But now our daughter can take herself to practice, so it frees up.
Yeah, that just doesn't free up weekend time. Because we'll go to the games.
I'm never going to the
games.
Never going to miss a game.
The games we have.
The only time in my daughter's life that I have ever missed a soccer game. Oh my God, so horrible story. So the only reason I missed her game is because I was a baseball coach at the time, and my son had a baseball game, and I was coaching his team. So I had to miss it because I was the head coach. Like, I couldn't not show up. So I go to coach the baseball game, and, like, I don't know, first inning, I get a text from my wife that's like, "Oh, Lorelai just scored her first goal
Ever.
and I missed it."
It was the first. It was not only her first goal, but it was their first game with the team. The first team's goal.
Yeah. So that is the only game I have ever missed. And of course, it had to be the one where she scored her first goal ever. So, off your bop, Sean. Off your bop, or on your bike, whatever you want. So, yeah, we'll never miss another game. And I haven't since. That was
Yeah.
I do.
I'm
So,
the only one that's missed games because sometimes like they
sometimes
fly out of
and,
state.
yeah, we
and,
have to go, and with our son, like he doesn't want to go to those things, which I totally understand because he does not like soccer. So there's no point in bringing him halfway across the country for a week if he's
pay for a ticket for him.
Like you get to watch the games on
Yeah,
TV.
I
so.
still watch them on because they stream them, so I still get to watch them, just not there. So it's not the same, but it's still good that they do that.
So well, good. You got so you get half quilted. Did you only do one side or?
Yeah, I quilted like the lines going in direction all across.
Oh, you gonna go the other side next.
Then I'm just gonna go the other way to make some diamonds on here.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll look good.
Well, thank you everyone for joining and for
Listening to us jabber and watching me quilt.
yeah. And well, thank you, Deanne. She said that your 5 ideas to quilt is one of the first videos she watched.
Oh, that one was fun to put together. That was a lot of fun. And good feedback on that one. A lot of people have liked the ideas, so.
Okay. Well, we will see you next week, and hopefully we won't be as tired. And maybe a little bit more jive, happy, hippie, hoppy.
Yeah. Let me know if there's anything you would like to see me sew up on a live. I would love for some ideas because I feel like I've been quilting quilts and doing that same Ohio blog for the last like 8 lives or something. So if there's anything you want to see, like let us know in the comments and we'll try to put something together.
Yeah, I mean we love talking to you guys. It's like a great way for us to break up the middle of our week. So if there are requests, if you guys want us to do something particular or go over a certain skill or something, like we're happy to do it. Because we struggle throughout the week. Hey, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So if you guys have ideas, we'll gladly take them.
Yep.
So
yeah. So we will see you back here same time next week.
Same bat channel, same bat time. Because I